Up in the sky. As we were getting outnumbered, we were getting overran out in the actual mountains and the desert. Any help was appreciated actually by any agency, and sometimes I wasn't even quite sure what agency was actually out there helping us. And it was me. It was. I mean, I could have asked. I could have actually looked into it, but I guess part of me didn't want to feel like I wasn't in the loop. So I just kept it going. I just pushed forward and didn't even ask who actually was calling out traffic to us. And when I say calling out traffic, is that this actual agency had a visual on something. So they had a radio frequency, and one particular, it was a morning, it was a weekend. I remember it was a weekend. It was a morning, and we had just got onto shift, and we're on our way, just working our way towards our task, our daily task. And it was only three of us actually working that actual day, and three individual vehicles. And we're headed towards a valley that consisted of the border fence. When I say border fence, it's just a couple of pylons, a couple of steel tubes put together. Remember, the EPA had a lot to say when it came down to building a fence along the border. So they had to actually do their studies, actually do their planning for wildlife and for the actual dirt, the actual sand, the actual ground. And in some places, all you could do is put up a couple of tubes to deter, to try to stop vehicles from going through, but not people because of the fact that the flash floods would come in there pretty fast and rapid, and it would just, the fence would just be taken out of its post fast. So, fence to keep people out was not very efficient for the fact that all you were gonna do is just pollute the soil with panels of metal. So all they did was just put a couple of posts and cross pieces of posts, just try to keep vehicles out. So that's all you can do, and just keep an eye on the actual area. So we were actually headed out towards that way, anyways. And in this particular valley, you could actually camp out. There was a small stream that went through there. Not dangerous. You can walk through it at some points. With that, uh, it grew some brush, high density, where somebody can hide underneath and pretty much be covered by any kind of electronic device to actually see if there's anything around that area. So it was a pretty good layout area for groups. And this is already daylight, so before 11 in the morning. And we get a call from an agency, and they had a visual of a small group working their way up towards the freeway. And the freeway was not that far. It was reachable within 50 minutes, at the most 45, 50 minutes. It was reachable on foot. So as they committed to actually cross, they're working their way up, and as they're crossing roads, these you ever see the videos where they say you had one job? Well, this is one person's job to get this group to the actual highway. So this person is going to do everything within his power to successfully escort this group to its destination. Then a vehicle will pick him up, and that he did his part, right? So as we're heading towards they keep crossing certain roads, dirt roads, just sand roads, to access certain areas for you to camp out. And so I was tasked to actually cut the first road, and uh, they hide their prints. This is not a known secret. This is very out in the open. It's been on many channels as documentaries are being filmed on people crossing. So they try to cover up their tracks, but I find signs. So hop over to the next lane. So I hop over to this next lane, and I see sign again that they've already crossed that area. So I'm calling out the actual traffic now, and the other units are behind me, and they're actually focusing on the freeway. And then now we're getting help from somebody. I don't know who it was, but clearly they were overlooking our positions and the group. The radio frequency was clear, and as I look up, the sky is clear. There's nothing visible. There's nothing shining. But yet he's calling out live traffic, and you tend not to look in the skies for the fact that if the group is looking at you, now you're making them aware that something's up there and giving out, you know, our inside help, right? And so as I'm trying not to be obvious, I'm trying to just kind of glance up. I cannot see anything up there. Um, if there was a Cessna, from Highway Patrol patrolling for speeders, I could not tell you if it was or not for the fact that the traffic was so on the actual traffic they were giving out was so precise on point that there's no way that this Cessna just passed by and is actually still monitoring what we're doing. And it was so clear that it had to be positioned at a still uh, range because you're flying and you're just passing through. You're not actually just hovering over our location, right? And so, I guess I should have asked, but then again, at that time, a lot of information was privileged and was not for everybody. And I'll get to that in a couple of stories, and a real wild one too. A real wild story that you had to be there. You had to be there to actually witness this thing going down. And as soon as I call the traffic out, supervisor goes, "Oh yeah, you've heard about that." Well, yeah, you heard about it, but we're living in and trying to figure out how to correct this problem. But that I'm saving that one for a special occasion. So till this day, I don't know who was actually up there in the skies helping us out. Could have been a drone, could have been Cessna, could have been satellite. I don't know. But the traffic was clear, the communication was clear, and they knew we were out there. And it's a mystery, one of them mysteries. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.